Alright, what's going on YouTube? Wait, hold on, let me make sure this shit is positioned right. What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamarty4 here once again, back for another animated horror story reaction series. So this should be well, it's not really a part 2, but I recorded the first part of this on Thursday night. So that one came out Friday morning. Today is probably like Tuesday, maybe? I think today should be Tuesday. Doesn't matter. um, I'm recording these back to back just so I can have another one ready to go for later in the week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous one. It was alright. It was cute. Make sure you go check her out. So yeah, we're back here for this part, and I'm already seeing the motherfucking hammer man. Girl, what does that even mean, child? This looks horribly animated already, but we gonna see. Let's see what she get. Hold on, let me get my drink of water first, because I know this mic be picking up every sound. Hold on. Oh, I know this will get out. But y'all love me still, I know it. Alright, let's see.
Recently, a buddy of mine was clearing out some old house that had been abandoned for years. While inside the attic, he came across a USB, which really stood out to him. Everything else in the house was old and decrepit, but the USB was obviously modern, not from the same time as all the other stuff in there. Like somebody other than the previous homeowners had come in and left it there. Hammerman, or one word, was written on it. Nothing else seemed out of place or unordinary. For whatever reason, he decided to pocket the thing and take it home with him. After he looked at what was on the flash drive, he called me up and invited me around to his place. Said he had something I had to see. Now, together, we sat looking at his computer screen as he opened up the USB drive. There was just one large file stored on it. A video. I need your opinion about what to do, man. I can hardly believe what's on this thing, my friend said to me. I could tell from his tone and expression that although he wanted to show me what was on it, he was also nervous and uncomfortable. Go ahead, click on it, I said. He obliged. I'll describe what I saw now, but believe me, it's not for the faint of heart.
Oh god.
Almost made me lose my damn faith in humanity. The video looked to have been filmed on a phone camera. It was actually several videos, all taken at different times and edited together, like a compilation or highlights reel. It started with a man in the back of a truck. He wore a mask to cover his face. In his hand was a hammer. He's laughing with the guy who's holding the camera, but they were speaking in a language I couldn't understand. It sounded like Russian, but I can't be sure. The vehicle they're traveling in comes to a screeching halt. The masked man quickly opens up the truck's sliding door and jumps out. The cameraman follows closely behind him. Walking alone down some lonely country road was a man, maybe in his early 30s, I'd say. He looked shocked and confused as the masked man ran up to him. Before he even realized what was about to happen, the guy with the hammer lifts it up and slams it down on the guy's head.
Oh!
It was as graphic as you can imagine. The unsuspecting guy drops to the ground and starts twitching.
Oh!
There's a big dent in his head, captured by the cameraman.
Oh my god.
And the masked man and the camera holder quickly jump back inside their truck, which starts driving off immediately. They laugh along with the driver. The video quickly cuts to another scene of the masked man, again jumping out the back of a truck. This time, there was a middle-aged woman walking along some woody country path. The masked man runs up to her at full speed. She has time to scream, but nothing more. Before she can even raise her arm to protect herself, she's hit in the head by the hammer. Movement.
Oh my
The men
god.
again run back to their vehicle and drive.
So, see, this the shit I've been talking about with humanity. Who does this? But then again, so why are some of y'all walking alone at night? But still again, that ain't got nothing. That should not equate to you getting bashed in the motherfucking head. What? What? So somebody just had this flash drive of these people just randomly killing people, just bashing them in the head. I don't like that.
Drive off, laughing and joking. There were 7 more clips like that. In each of them, the masked man lunged from the van at some single person who had no idea what was in store for them. He hits them all in the head, and they all drop to the ground, pools of red spurting out of them. The sound of all the thumps from the hammer were enough
Has
to make
nobody
one
caught?
puke.
Nobody captured them?
To
Nobody
think
caught?
that these people just woke up one morning and figured it was just going to be an ordinary day, only for this to happen to them out of the blue, makes you realize how unpredictable life can be when there's maniacs like this out there. Anyway, I don't know exactly what this video was, when it was made, or where it came from, but it seemed to me like a group of madmen who just drove around lonely country roads, looking for innocent people to strike with a hammer. No rhyme or reason to it. I have no idea how it came to be in that abandoned house, nor do I know the fate of all the people in the video. From what I saw, I wouldn't say any of them survived. My friend agreed to call the authorities and give them the USB. As far as I know, nothing's come of it yet. Hope they catch the guy and his accomplices who filmed it and drove him around.
Child, that's some fuck shit. I'm glad they turned it over to the police and then just like hide it somewhere. Cause I'm like, no, people like that they need their ass kicked. Cause you know what? Let me stop. Because if it was me, if you get caught and you were doing some shit like that, I feel like somebody should be able to do that shit to you in a public setting and just beat your face in as the death penalty. Because you're just there's no sense, rhyme, or reason to it. You just going out beating these random people in the head that didn't do nothing, just minding their business. For what? Laughter? Girl, I can't. But we're gonna let me skip through this ad and come back. Okay, we back. Alright, let's see what the tea is.
I was 13 when this happened. My parents left on a business trip to LA, so I had to stay home. My dad gave me his card so that I could order whatever I needed.
Come on, YouTube.
So I kinda enjoyed being alone. And I wasn't scared because I've been home alone so many times, and besides, it was only for 3 days. Well, this was around the time the clowns were breaking into houses and doing some weird stuff.
What? Just casual, like, oh, I'm just here by myself. My parents are miles away, and I'm not scared or anything, but it just so happened to be around the time when clowns are breaking into people's house and killing people. No problem. Like, girl, the fuck? First of all, if your parents must not have known anything about these clowns, because if I heard that shit was on the news, especially if it was in the area, did she say it was in the area? I don't know, but if that shit was in the area, no, you coming with us. There's no reason why I can't bring a daughter to some trip in LA if they're not just gonna. I'm sure they got like a hotel or wherever they're staying at that you can crash at too. I'm not leaving my child at the house because you sound like you said they were 13. Girl, bye. It couldn't be me. Hell no.
But they never came to my area since they usually hit more quiet places, especially the area near a forest. Although we had a fence that could easily allow someone to climb over,
Girl.
we didn't really think much about it because the area where we lived in was very safe. Anyway, it was around 6 p.m. and this was in the winter, so it got dark pretty
I'm serious.
fast. We had a glass room at the back of the house, also known as a conservatory, and it leads straight to the garden. The room was right next to the kitchen. I got a little hungry, so I went to the fridge, took out some snacks, and went back to the living room to continue watching TV. There was a roof on the glass room that intensified any sound that landed on top of it, even the gentlest drop of water. That day, it was raining heavily, so it was too noisy to hear anything except the rainfalls pounding on the roof. About a few minutes later, I was quite sleepy, so I decided to go up to my room and lay down. I was about to grab my phone and check my social media, but
Hold on, let me see if I can get this thing buffered. This is ridiculous.
then I heard something drop really hard on something downstairs. It really creeped me out. I
Hold on a minute.
got really scared, but decided to go downstairs to check, thinking that it would be nothing. So I came out of my room, went halfway down the staircase, and looked down the hallway. The whole area was dark,
Ooh!
but I knew that someone was standing there. I saw the back of a silhouette. I quickly went to my room, trying not to make any noise. Then I heard someone walking around the living room. I immediately called the police and whispered to the operator that I needed help ASAP. But all of a sudden, I had a sneezing fit.
Oh, bitch. Isn't it funny how, like, when you need to be quiet and you're trying so hard not to make no noise, all of a sudden you get itchy, you feel like you need to sneeze, you coughing. Like, what the fuck?
I was so panicked at that moment, so I instantly ran to the bathroom since it was the only room with a lock. As I was reaching the bathroom, he sprinted up the stairs so fast. I locked the door and tried not to cry. The man tried to open the door. He kept turning the doorknob. The bathroom had a small blurry window, but I was able to see outside. So just then,
Oh no.
I got a glimpse of what was at the door. It was a clown with green hair and without a nose. He was wearing a very weird.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. 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 Shit. Wait a minute. Child, I do. Well, you know what? Last week I was complaining about the shit being too, and shit, and they came back with a vengeance on this shit. Holy damn. That man is ugly. Oh shit. Girl, get a knife. Get something.
Outfit
I'm so
and
sorry.
was holding a gigantic knife. I had no other choice, so I quickly hopped inside the bath, opened the window, and jumped out. I slid off the big roof
Ooh.
and fell on the concrete. I couldn't even feel my injury because I was so scared. As I was about to hop on the fence, I heard the cops. They entered our house, and after that, they arrested and cuffed him. When he walked past me, I was so scared and my
Girl, come on.
body was shivering. But I was glad that it was over. The police contacted my parents, so they came back home in a hurry. I would see them again, and I knew that I was safe now. From then on, I never stayed at home alone, and that clown guy was in prison for several years for scaring kids and for possible murder.
Oh, child. The ghetto. The ghetto. I could never, child, I could never. All right. Someone tried to open my car. Child, it'll be the last time we see this shit.
This happened when I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school. It was the middle of the week, and my friend and I were chatting online about wanting to do something new and fun over the weekend. We usually just went to the movies, went to the mall, or got dinner, and I thought we should try something different. The next day, I was in the computer lab for one of my classes, and I had some time to kill because I finished my assignment early. Keep in mind, Snapchat and Instagram were just starting up and didn't have the same kind of popularity as it has today. So the only thing we really had at the time was Facebook. However, my school was strict and blocked Facebook, so the only thing I could really do was read articles on news websites. While searching,
Now, that sounded like me when I was in high school, because I didn't even make my Facebook until I was like a senior in high school. My first semester senior in high school, back in 2007, child. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than some most of y'all, but I remember we had to do like the proxy websites to try to access Facebook back in the day, child. Yeah, there was. I'm glad I was in high school when there was no like uh Instagram, Snapchat, and all that shit. Like, only thing that we had was Black Planet, even though that was older than me. MySpace, and like who was gonna be in your top 8 or your top 16 or whatever the hell you had, and anything that you did on Facebook, it was all like local, like only people that you knew, like in your school, would know. Like it was very, low key. Now, shit. Oh, I couldn't imagine being in high school with access to the social media thing that they got now, child.
and scrolling through the internet, an article showed up. It was about an interview with a man who was discussing the truth of paranormal activity around the area I grew up in. Intrigued, I read the article and looked up the places the guy was talking about. And sure enough, I found a bunch of things. One place in particular caught my eye. It was a place about 20 minutes away from where I lived. It was known to have multiple paranormal occurrences happen on the exact same road. As soon as class ended, I texted my friends about what I found. And we all agreed on going and seeing what this road was all about Friday night.
Hell no. Hell no. Bitch, my friends know not to text me no shit like that. You tell me, oh, let's go check out this haunted house. Girl, for what? If there are articles about paranormal activity, what our stupid ass is going in there for? You want to see some ghosts? You want to see some shit? You think it's just going to sit there and be on display like a damn museum? Why would you go there? That don't make no sense to me. I halfway don't be the one to do haunted houses. I do it just because I know it's for entertainment purposes and ain't nothing really supposed to happen to me. That's the only reason why I entertain haunted houses. But if you want me to go to actual paranormal activity type of grounds where shit be disappearing, people be vanishing and doing all that bullshit, no. Why would I do that?
Friday night finally arrived. It was me and 4 of my friends. Right before we entered the location, I parked my car and had my friend drive because we believed that if a guy drove, not much would happen. So she drove my car while I was sitting in the passenger seat. While switching seats, my other friends put baby powder on the top of my car because one of my other friends read that it helps people see when ghosts touch or brush your car. It started to drizzle a bit, which bummed us out because the baby powder would be washed away. As we were driving my car, we turned off the radio to make it more suspenseful.
So y'all are trying to get the ghost to touch your car. You're turning off the radio because you wanted to see more suspenseful. Y'all are trying to scare yourselves. And for what? I'll never understand.
All of a sudden, we heard someone from a distance scream bloody murder. At that moment,
What the fuck? What the fuck was... no. What was that? What was that? Turn this bitch around. See, I told you I shouldn't have got this. I should not have gotten involved into this bullshit. She is a look. Both of these girls are sitting up here looking like, what the fuck have I got myself into? Girl, let's turn this bitch around. I'm abort, abort, abort.
Moment, I heard the sound of a car door trying to be opened, as if someone was aggressively trying to get into my car. After that, we saw a police car driving so fast with the sirens on, as if they were chasing someone on a major highway. The problem with that was the road was paper thin and had tons of sharp turns, so you couldn't go that fast without crashing into another car. Plus, the car didn't have any of the county police or trooper tags from the area I lived in. I knew that because my dad was a cop, and I saw all kinds of different cop tags in my lifetime. I was freaked out that those two things just occurred. We were all freaked out.
So, wait, you didn't get to see anything that tried to get in your
And
car?
drove to the nearest parking lot so that we could calm down. As we got out of the car, one of my friends started to freak out even more. The baby powder on the roof of my car was smeared, and it was all over my passenger seat side door.
Ooh.
What was even more creepy was the fact that there were finger marks all over the door. Now, this wouldn't normally creep me out, but we were driving the entire time, and we all made sure not to touch the doors when entering the car. The strangest part was that the finger marks had no fingerprints, but were clearly shaped like a hand. It was as if someone was trying to reach for the door handle. Not only that, but we also noticed that there were fingernail claw marks on my door handle. This freaked me out because earlier I heard someone violently trying to open my door. In the next few days, we told everyone, both online and in person, about that night and how it freaked us all out. Then someone sent me a link to an article about the street we drove on and all the activity that occurred on it. But it wasn't the one I originally read. It was a different one. As I was reading the website, I started to notice that all the things mentioned also happened to me the same exact way that night. But what freaks me out the most to this day is thinking about what would have happened if I didn't have my door locked. Would the door have opened up?
So y'all be playing in my face. I hate it here. I absolutely hate it here. Oh, I hate the fucking ads too. Oh my god. Oh my god. This one is much better, I will say that. Oh man. Whew. Okay. Oh child. Oof. Okay. Let me skip the ad. I'll be right back. Okay, child. I think, depending on how long this one goes, I think this might be the last one for this video too, because I'm trying to keep them roughly around the 30-minute mark, and we're hitting the 23 mark. So by the time that this story may be over, we should be done. Now, this is a true Macy's horror story animated. Now, if y'all remember the last, I think there was a Macy's store animated where like the guy was being a creeper and staring at the lady and her baby in the Macy's store like he was cross-dressing at the same time. Hopefully this isn't the same story because this looked kind of like it could be the same story. But let's see, child. Hold on, wait. All right. Please don't be the same story.
A few days ago, I went to a Macy's store with my mother and
Yep, this the same one. No, the creepy look. Look at this creepy motherfucker. Look at this. I did this in one of my the previous stories. I don't know how I ran to this one again. But oh, it's a compilation, that's why. But yeah, y'all go check that out. That shit was, I think it, I can't remember which one it was originally in, but that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. Okay, let me get back to.
but I'm still wondering what he meant by, "She's cold now."
Oof, oof, girl. Y'all go watch that story. That was a good one. True horror story about the man who snuck into our house. Girl, we doing more sneaking and intruder and shit.
This story happened in the summer of 2017 when I was 10 years old. My older brother and I had a babysitter, and she was around the age of 17. Since my mom was home on Tuesdays, the babysitter would come on the other weekdays. Most days when she babysat, we would go to the neighborhood pool, hang out, and eat lunch there. Then we went back home and my mom would arrive a bit later at around 5:30 in the evening. On one Thursday, the day was just an ordinary one and the babysitter came around 8 in the morning. A few hours later, we decided to head to the pool and eat lunch. We all got ready and headed out the door. As I used to be a little paranoid back then, every time I went outside, I made sure I locked the door and would immediately turn the doorknob and try to open it to make sure it was locked. The door was definitely locked, so we walked to the pool and swam for a while. Then we ate lunch and decided to head back to the house. When we got home, I pulled out the key from my bag, but I noticed that the door was a crack open. I pushed it, and the door swung open. A little chill ran down my spine as I remembered that I made sure the door was locked before leaving.
Girl, well, that means, you know what? We're not even gonna walk into the house. Call the police first. Call the police first, because you don't want any. You want to be able to get the fingerprints of whoever tried to enter into your door, and you don't want to. If they're still in there, you don't want to get caught up in there in none of that mess. Call the po.
My babysitter had a frightened look on her face too. But my stupid brother thought nothing of it and just walked right in, so
Oh, girl, he can. You can have him. You can have him.
we followed him.
Oh,
About my house, when you walk into the house, to the right is an entryway to the living room, and straight ahead is a hallway to the kitchen. The stairs are to the right of the hallway, and you can see the upstairs railing from the entrance. We walked into the kitchen and set our stuff down, and I went to go lock the door. After I shut it, I turned back around to go back to the kitchen, but something caught my attention at the corner of my eye. Looking up at the railing,
oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I just know I'm gonna see something ugly and crazy and creepy looking, Jesus.
I could see the silhouette of someone crouched behind a tall, narrow floor fan. I looked a little closer, and I could see their eyes. They were wide open and were staring directly at me.
Oh my God.
I was frozen in fear and couldn't move. All I could do was stare back at them, not knowing if it was a man or woman.
I don't even care.
My babysitter called for me to come to the kitchen, and the figure slowly walked into a nearby room and disappeared. I ran into the kitchen, telling my babysitter and brother what I saw. At first, they didn't believe me, but then, all of a sudden, we were all silent as we heard slow footsteps creaking from upstairs.
Now you believe. My thing is, babysitter, you were sitting there looking just as freaked out as I was when the door was open. Why are you surprised that I'm telling you that I saw some shit upstairs?
She quietly grabbed both her phone and a kitchen knife and ushered us to the back door. She slowly turned the doorknob and tried to not make any noise while opening the door. We made it to the backyard and she was going to call 911 on her phone. But before she could, we heard a tapping sound coming from one of the windows on the second
Oh God, he's looking at y'all.
floor. So we all looked up, and then
Oh my God. Oh my God. I just know it's gonna be some bullshit. Oh my God. This is so much better than the last one. Oh, this is so much better than the last one. Oh my God.
we saw him. He was a man, late 50s, short black hair, eyes still wide open, staring at us. He was pushing the blinds out of the way, so we saw his face very clearly.
Oh my
We
God.
screamed and started running to the gate on the side of the backyard. The babysitter dropped her phone while scared,
God damn it, girl.
so I picked it up
Thank you.
and ran behind her. I dialed 911, told them our address, and explained to the operator what just happened. She said they would be there in a few minutes, told us to go to a nearby neighbor's house and stay there until the cops arrive. We rang a doorbell a few times, and one of our neighbors, who was retired, came outside. He let us in, and we explained what happened as we were looking out of the window. Then we saw 3 cop cars pulling up, and the cops were surrounding my home. 3 cops headed in through the front door and investigated our house. We went outside to tell them that we were okay, and the other police officers started questioning us. Soon the cops came back after finding nothing and doing a thorough investigation. They told us it would be best to not stay home, as the person may come back. So the babysitter said we could go to her house, which is about a mile away. Just then, we heard our neighbors screaming from down the street.
What?
A few houses down, a policeman's car was set on fire and
What?
was smoking a lot. The cops spotted a man running past the corner down towards the end of the street. One officer took us to the babysitter's house, while the other 3 went after that man. We later found out that the man had gotten away, so he never got arrested. Our parents arrived home as they were contacted by the police and freaked out. Later that night, we came back to the house and we searched the whole place to see if anything was missing. A cash box that was stored in my parents' bedroom was missing, but we didn't report it since the man was never found. I have no idea who that was or how he opened our front door. I still wonder to this day what would have happened if I never noticed the man. He could have done something to us while we were sleeping. I still feel uneasy sometimes when I'm home alone.
Girl. I realized that my best friend doesn't exist anymore. We'll save her for next time. Oh, girl, I'm stressed out. I feel like I need a cigarette and not even smoke after watching this shit. I don't see how some of y'all be watching these. And I appreciate it. I swear I do. But y'all are crazy watching these at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, in the night, underneath your covers, home alone. Y'all are crazy, bitch. I'm watching this shit with the lights on. I at least have a roommate here. Like, I'm not playing those games. Now, I used to do these when I was in my other apartment in Houston. I was watching doing these things by myself in the middle of the night like a stupid person. But not no more. We've learned. But thank y'all so much for watching. I feel like this is gonna be a great one. I hope this one does well. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you like these videos, share them on your social media. Tell other people about it. Tell other people to watch this shit and get scared with us. You know, let this be a collective thing. We're trying to build. We're trying to build. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody who, watches it thus far and always asks for these. So it makes me feel like, okay, they're enjoying it. It's slowly building. And so we're going to keep pushing. You know what I mean? So again, thank y'all. I'm still a little scattered right now because of what I just saw. Oof. Girl, that demon thing opening that. Woo, Jesus, I need to pray. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Bye.